This is the only thing I've said about it. To the extent that there was or was not an investigation or a human resources complaint or conclusions around it, I actually think that it is so like uncouth and lame and raggedy, for lack of a better term, that any of that would have been made public. Because whether it happened or it didn't happen or whatever, like the integrity of an investigation like that is based on the discretion and the privacy in which that happens. Because let's just do like a what do you call it, an example here. Let's do like a hypothetical.
Yes.
If indeed there was a workplace complaint, and let's say it was investigated, and let's say it was found to be credible, then whatever organization they have an option to terminate said person or to come up with compliant activity that could rectify or rehabilitate the behavior, or a number of other things that they get to decide to do that's in the best interest of everybody involved. And when you make it public, whatever the outcome or decision is, you take away the power to implement something that could be really beneficial for everybody. So I'm not here for the speculation about a potential possible investigation. I'm not here for the speculation of what was confounded or found to be true or not true or any of that bullshit. I just think it reeks of undermining the credibility of something really fucking serious. If indeed there were accusations and investigations and conclusions, that's high stakes shit for everybody involved. And I will not participate in any way in the public discourse of something that is really at its core totally designed and it's so important that it be maintained in the privacy and internal nature of what that is.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, if you're in a office sitting at a desk and there's a real investigation, the other employees sitting there don't find out. Right.
That's the thing. Like, whether that person is liable, so to speak, or complicit and found to be, corroborated is the word, right? What good would it do that if there's a kind of rectification plan, a rehabilitation plan in place, then you don't say, hey guys, by the way, we did a really long investigation and found that your colleague did or said this and it was fucked up and terrible, but we now have them on a corrective plan so everybody just be cool. Like, what? Like, no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and I mean, actually the opposite. I mean,
the
people in charge go out of their way to say...
And I support that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I really support full-heartedly the protection of the nature of that work. And I think it's really shitty that whoever or whatever, leak, made it up, whatever the fuck, broke the confidentiality of, that potential situation.
That makes sense. Well, what do you think is the person or leak, or how does this get out?
I don't know. That was probably, I think, David, for me, from start to finish of how my Housewives experience thus far, the most, I guess, unanticipated aspect of this whole world of Housewives is this notion of press leaks and people calling and talking to the press or decide, and it's just not my jam. It's not my speed. Like, much to some people, including some colleagues' dismay, when I feel a way or I have a statement, I really like to go on the record and just say, as I have said in prior times, this is true, this is not true, this is my thought on this, and take it to the fucking bank. I'm not a pussy, as I told that brilliant writer from Variety. If your style is leaking and playing coy, and I said it but I didn't say it, then more power to you. It's just not I've never in my 28 years of life played that game.
And I mean, out of many housewives that have come and gone, you actually have some experience in the media. Yes.
I had a whole 10-year career, 5 of it very visible prior to Housewives in terms of journalism and news and media. So, and that's and I'm used to journalism in the sense that, not that it makes me better than anybody, but I'm used to, 2 vetted sources before something's reported. And so I learned a crash course, David, in the difference between respectable journalism and tabloids. Because, like, these, some of these, outlets are calling me, like, do you have a comment? I'm like, what is your source? You know, where are you getting? Oh, it's this. You know, what the fuck is that? You know, and realizing that there are no journalistic integrity standards here. It's literally a gossip rag. So go write what the fuck you want to write then. All right, I got it now. I get it now, but it took me a while. I was very naive and hostile to this whole game in the beginning.
This is one of the things you've learned from Housewives.
Yes.
The whole this is how the media in this world works.
Exactly.
That's so interesting.
I was such
considering
a student
you've
to
been
that. Yeah.
in the media.
Yeah, but in a very different way. Like
right.
when you're in news, as you know, or journalism, or even just more kind of traditional, legitimate platforms, there's protocol. You know, there's protocol. There's do's, there's don'ts. There's oversight. There's just none of that. Nobody gave a fuck about that in this world. So I was like, all right, got it. I got it now. I'm cool to play the game now.
It's like a whole extra housewife person involved. It's like there's this media element to it.
Yeah, and that's a big housewife. You know what I mean?
It's a big housewife.
Yeah.
So what, you said this was the most shocking thing or whatever in your whole experience. So what happens when you wake up that morning and this is now...
It just feels really crappy because I'm somebody that obviously I work in television, so I'm not going to play coy I don't want anybody to ever say my name. But that's I guess I'm just a little old school and a little specific in the way that I like to be relevant in these spaces. So all relevancy is not good relevancy to me. So it's not hell yeah, bitch, I'm on page 6 or I'm on Daily Mail, fuck it. Who cares what the time? No, it's kind of wag, for real. And so it kind of saddens me. So when there's stretches where I'm not mentioned, it's very relieving to me, to be candid. Mm-hmm.
And are you shocked that some of your colleagues probably aren't similar in that sense? That, I think they're probably happy to be on Daily Mail and Page 6 and The Sun and all these lovely places.
Yeah, I'm not, not knowing what I know now, not having lived it. I think somebody, I don't know if it was Carol or Bethany, but somebody said in an interview or a publication, 90% of the conflict that exists between us as housewives or women, it's the show. And that I can attest to 1,001%. I don't think I had a conflict with anybody during the season or after the season or up until this day that on some level wasn't really rooted in the show and the mechanics of the machine.
Carol said it here behind the
okay, all right, okay, got it, okay.
But I was going to ask you, right,
yeah.
Shout out to Carol.
And you for framing the question, yes, because that is very fucking accurate.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you mean by that? I understand what you mean, but for people listening...
It's it becomes a shadow conflict, right? So what looks like it might be playing out, even, let's just